One day here and not another minute to see the famous sights.
It's the talk of the town. On the Town sails back to Broadway.
I am so grateful for the opportunity because it's just been the best year of my life.
The international phenomenon that unmasks emotions like no other show can, the Phantom of the Opera.
When you say Vegas,
Sin City meets the razzle-dazzle of Broadway in the hilarious new musical from the hit movie Honeymoon in Vegas.
You know, nothing great is ever easy, and sometimes it takes time for everything to come together, and tonight it did.
It's Broadway's 4-time Tony Award winner, including Best Musical, A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. Stay tuned.
Do you hear the people sing, singing the song of angry?
See the legendary and epic musical about the survival of the human spirit in Les Miserables.
So the show is appealing to an audience that have never seen it, as well as people who love Les Mis. And, you know, they're coming and they're treating it like a brand new musical.
A spectacularly uplifting story and winner of 6 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, Kinky Boots.
Let me tell you, it takes a village, and it was a big village to make this music. So I feel very honored to have been part of such a great collaboration, honestly.
Broadway is shining brighter than ever, and it's all here on Broadway Previews.
New York, New York, New York. It's a hell of a town.
Fall in love with New York again, as one of America's greatest revival musical comedies is the talk of the town. Directed by Tony winner John Rando and choreographed by Emmy winner Joshua Burgas, On the Town tells the story of 3 sailors on 24-hour shore leave, looking for love in the Big Apple. With the biggest orchestra on Broadway and a 30-member talented cast, don't miss your chance to see the show The Hollywood Reporter calls an explosion of pure joy, and Broadway World hails, "You have not seen the real New York until you have seen On the Town," now playing at the Lyric Theater.
It's a hell of a town.
I mean, at first, you know, I stepped into this world not knowing anybody. I'm coming from a company of 90 other dancers where I've known all of them, most of them, you know, since I was 15. So it was really a thrilling, kind of scary experience to be in rehearsals and do those first couple shows with people that I had just met and having this like stare into Tony's eyes. And I feel like he was still a stranger at that point, you know, like. But we've all gotten to know each other so well and become a family so quickly, and so it's really fun to be out there every night with my new friends. You know, I think hopefully this will, in a more casual way, show people what dancing can be and how exciting it can be and how thrilling it can be to be in the audience to watch it. You know, because it's definitely. You know, it's something we do every night, but I can tell that everybody's eating it up, you know, so it's fun. I think that there is a desire out there for people to see more dance, and hopefully we're showing them that they like it.
when you say Vegas,
Say I Do to Broadway's most hilarious and romantic new musical. Honeymoon in Vegas is already raking in the raves. Ben Brantley of the New York Times calls it over-the-top funny, cheering the music hooks you from the get-go. Tony Danza has the audience eating out of the palm of his hand, raves the New York Post. Honeymoon tells the story of Jack, a Brooklynite with an extreme fear of marriage, who finally gets up the nerve to ask his girlfriend Betsy to marry him. But when a smooth-talking gambler falls head over heels for Betsy, Jack must go to extreme heights to win back the love of his life. A romantic romp from New York to Vegas to Hawaii, Honeymoon is non-stop, laugh-out-loud Broadway fun.
Come on, Las Vegas. Yeah!
Get your tickets now for this uproarious new musical about the crazy things we do for love. Honeymoon in Vegas, now playing at the Nederlander Theater.
It's a fun trio to be a part of, really. Bryn is one of our best singing actresses around. You know, she's not just singing pretty notes; she's a real actress, which is really easy to engage. You know, and sometimes in a musical, it's easy to feel sung at. And she's always connected. She's always communicating, and I'm really lucky to be able to receive that. And Tony is one of those guys who's like. You know when you watch a great movie or a great TV show who stars someone you admire and you go like, God, I hope they're as cool as I imagine they are. Tony is as cool as you possibly imagine he is. He's generous and kind, and he's really, really funny. He's also the real deal when it comes to musical theater. He's tap dancing, he's playing the ukulele, he's singing. He's got the goods.
Price & Son spent the last century making a range of shoes for men. We will begin this century making a range of shoes for a range of men.
Kinky Boots is Broadway's Tony Award-winning Best Musical, with music by Tony and Grammy-winning pop icon Cyndi Lauper. It's a feel-good celebration packed with non-stop fun and a kick of pure joy. Inspired by true events, Kinky Boots features a book by Tony-winning theater legend Harvey Fierstein and direction and choreography by Tony winner Jerry Mitchell. It tells the story of Charlie Price, who inherits his father's shoe factory. Looking to save the family business, Charlie turns to a fabulously fashionable new friend, cabaret star Lola, who gives him an outrageous idea that could change both of their destinies. Soon, this unlikely duo creates the most sensational footwear that's ever rocked the runways of Milan, giving the factory and its hardworking family a sparkling new future. An exuberant story about finding friendship, inspiration, and passion where you least expect. Kinky Boots proves that you change the world when you change your mind. Experience the uplifting power of this Tony-winning Best Musical that will raise your spirits to new heights.
Matthew Morrison, Kelsey Grammer, and Laura Michelle Kelly in the fascinating story of how Peter became Pan. Finding Neverland, a new Broadway musical. Previews begin March 15th.
Coming up is the show that is knocking them dead on Broadway, A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, this year's 4-time Tony Award winner for Best Musical.
Welcome to Langham Place, Fifth Avenue, the very definition of understated luxury. We're lucky to be on the best address in the world, Fifth Avenue, right in the center of New York. We have some of the largest rooms in the city and 57 amazing suites and apartments facing the Empire State Building. There's an 11,000 square foot spa with a Julien Farrell salon. We have an amazing Italian-French restaurant on the second floor, a Michelin star, with great chef Michael White. We have Measure Lounge for great people watching, and live jazz every night at 8 p.m. The house car is a Maserati. Will drop you off anywhere you want in the city, the best way to travel. Everything you could possibly want in New York is right here at Langham Place. Please join us on your next visit.
New York City, a big city with lots to do and lots to see, especially great theater. See a show without the hassles with TodayTix, a new app that makes getting Broadway tickets quick and easy at the lowest price available. Get your tickets in 30 seconds or less. Download the free TodayTix app and choose the show you'd like to see. You can even get tickets up to an hour before curtain. Choose the show you want and pick up your tickets outside the theater from the friendly TodayTix concierge. It's like carrying the box office in your pocket. Forget the days of standing in long lines. You'll be enjoying yourself and your show in just no time at all.
This show is brought to you by On the Town, Broadway's biggest new hit. The New York Times raves, "It takes your breath away." Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Honeymoon in Vegas is the new musical that Ben Brantley of the New York Times calls over-the-top funny. Don't miss the cooler than cool Tony Danza in Honeymoon in Vegas on Broadway. Broadway's new high-heeled hit, Kinky Boots, has won 6 2013 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. Come experience the joy of Cyndi Lauper's Tony-winning Best Score in the new musical that proves sometimes the best way to fit in is to stand out. Now on Broadway at the Al Hirschfeld Theater.
Yo, I'm Tony Danza, and you're watching the Broadway Channel.
Hi everyone, I'm Tamsin Fidel for the Broadway Channel, and this is what's hot on Broadway. Get ready for the latest scoop on Broadway shows and exclusive interviews with the hottest stars.
I feel like it's going to be, it's stripped away with a lot to a very a real telling of this story, a very human telling of the story. Even though, I mean, it's going to be it's going to be epic and intimate at the same time.
And
I feel
the theater, I mean, our second day of rehearsal was that Bart took us up to the theater, and right now it's like a construction zone.
Yeah.
But we are very careful. But it's just, the space is so epic. I've never been in the Vivian Beaumont Theater, so him taking us up there personally and showing us everything, just the thrust stage gives it a really intimate setting, but then there's this epic 6-winged stage behind it, and it's just one of the most gorgeous spaces, I think, in the world.
Yeah, the stage has so much depth, but then it thrusts out into the audience so that the audience can be around certain more intimate moments. So you feel like that. I don't think any of the seats in the theater are further than 50 feet away from the action. So. And
we have a 29-piece orchestra, and they're underneath the thrust. So us right now, we're in rehearsals, we're singing these gorgeous sweeping ballads with the piano accompanist, who's amazing. But having a 30-piece orchestra underneath us. Yeah. When we're on the thrust is with the sound coming out, it's going to be like a bowl. It's just, it's like, it makes me emotional thinking about it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching What's Hot on Broadway, One on the Aisle, and your backstage pass to the best of Broadway. I'm Tamsin Fidel for the Broadway Channel.
The Tony Award-winning Matilda the Musical is now on Broadway. Don't miss the captivating musical masterpiece that revels in the anarchy of childhood, the power of imagination, and the inspiring story of a girl who dares to change her destiny. Based on the Roald Dahl novel of the same name, the musical features a book by Tony Award-winning Dennis Kelly and music and lyrics by Tim Minchin. With the help of her teacher, friends, and a little bit of imagination, Matilda proves that even if you're little, you can do big things. Rolling Stone hails, Matilda is hands down the best musical of the season, and the Chicago Tribune declares it is the best family musical in years. Matilda is more than a show, it's a phenomenon, playing at the Shubert Theater. A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder is Broadway's 2014 Tony Award-winning Best Musical. This knock-'em-dead hit tells the hilarious story of Monty Navarro, a distant heir to a family fortune, who speeds up the line of succession using equal parts charm and murder.
Take a look at us. It's been ever the since boarding school began.
Tony winner Jefferson Mays plays all 8 of Monty's doomed relatives in a head-spinning turn that the New York Times calls the year's greatest musical theater performance.
I don't understand the poor. No, I don't understand the poor. The lives they lead of want and need. And I should think it would be a bore.
The hysterical Bryce Pinkham, playing Monty, is a terrific musical comedy leading man.
I'm grateful indeed for your gracious bestowment. Yes, Wadsworth, I told you. Be just a moment!
The critics are saying A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder restores our faith in musical comedy. It's as gut-busting as the Book of Mormon. Don't miss A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, Broadway's Tony Award-winning Best Musical, and the most award-winning show of the year. Les Miserables has returned to Broadway in the acclaimed new production from Cameron McIntosh that has audiences leaping to their feet. Featuring the iconic songs you love, Les Mis is an unforgettable story of heartbreak, passion, and redemption that's become one of the most celebrated musicals of all time. Now's your chance to experience the musical phenomenon like you have never seen it before. The breathtaking new Broadway production critics are hailing a Les Mis for the 21st century.
Let him live. Bring him home.
One more time. One more time.
Les Miserables. For tickets, visit telecharge.com or go to the Imperial Theater box office on 45th Street in Broadway.
Really exciting for me is to discover that the audience that are buying tickets, mostly in their 20s or some are teenagers, you know, more than half the house is under 25, and that wasn't the same all those years ago. So the show is appealing to an audience that have never seen it, as well as people who love Les Mis. And, you know, they're coming and they're treating it like a brand new musical, which is the way that we've treated the material, with new sets, new direction, new everything. We didn't want it to be a revival of the old show. We wanted to reinvent Les Mis for the 21st century.
A refined jewel in the heart of Manhattan, the Warwick New York Hotel is a luxury hotel delivering sophisticated comfort. The Warwick New York features newly renovated premier guest rooms and uniquely designed signature suites reflecting both vintage Hollywood and accentuating timeless elegance along with urban sophistication. Located in the heart of Midtown Manhattan, the Warwick New York Hotel is an historic destination located on the corner of 6th Avenue and 54th Street. Surrounded by the energy and endless activities of the city, the hotel is across the street from the Museum of Modern Art and steps away from Carnegie Hall, Rockefeller Center, Broadway theaters, Radio City Music Hall, Times Square, and countless world-class restaurants. From the Art Deco-style restaurant, Murals on 54, to the iconic Randolph's Bar and Lounge, the Warwick New York is one of Midtown Manhattan's most exciting dining destinations. With its European-style elegance, vintage charm, and stately ambience, the Warwick is an oasis of quiet luxury for business and leisure travelers in the greatest city in the world.
We are talking about a sexy show, a seasoned performer, and a stunning secret. In this week's Backstage on Broadway, in partnership with the Broadway Channel, one of the performers in Chicago is sharing her story for the first time. Her strength inspiring, her attitude infectious, and her talent, well, that speaks for itself. Sex, murder, greed, corruption. It's just another day on the job for the cast of Chicago.
It's showtime.
And for 12 years, Sharon Moore has done it all, covering 6 characters as what's called the swing.
I loved Alvin Lipschitz. I'd mix him a drink, we'd have dinner.
6 different roles of a lifetime, years in the making.
When I was 3, my mom and dad, Barbara and Frank Moore, put me in dance class.
Sharon grew up in Poughkeepsie and trained at the Estelle and Alfonso Dance Studio.
I came to Manhattan in the early 80s, like 83. It was my first audition, was at Radio City, Disney Summer Magic.
What happened? Was it all over from there? Yes. You were hooked.
That was it, and I got the job.
One she feared could be her last.
I was diagnosed with macular degeneration when I was, I think I was like 24. I thought it was devastating at first. I thought I was going to lose my sight completely.
Sharon is legally blind. How do your castmates work with you and around you?
Well, they know if I'm not looking at them that I am looking at them because I have to use my peripheral vision to see. So the bright lights help.
Being legally blind has never stopped Sharon. She's had roles in Hello Dolly, OK, and Fosse. Then landed her spot in Chicago.
Walking through that door and you see Chicago. It's a dream come true for me.
I mixed him his drink as usual. You know some guys just can't hold their arsenic.
All of a sudden I heard coming around the corner, and that's her announcement of if I bump into you, it ain't my fault. and so I heard that and I was like, why does she always announce herself, you know? And then someone else told me, well, you know, she's legally blind. She actually can't see you. And I was like, what? I could not believe it.
Why do you not think it's remarkable?
Because I've dealt with it all my life.
Even with this limitation, she is doing everything full out and dancing her face off. You know, she doesn't hold back.
We make fun of it, you know, so does she, you know, because he's like, I told her I was going to teach her how to drive. She said, okay, Mama.
You guys are real family.
Yeah. We are. But it's just amazing what she can do.
You give them your all. From the time you run out, take your bow, lift those hands together, and be proud of that. Because there are so many people that aren't able to do this anymore.
What do you tell somebody like that is facing the fears that you did at 24?
Have no fear. Everything is possible. You know, go for your dream. If whatever it is you want to do, you can do it. It can be done. And I'm proof of that. And I'm proud of it.
So Sharon told me one of the most difficult parts of her job is not knowing who she's going to be going on for that night when she's not on stage. Well, she sits in the back of the house with a pair of binoculars and just watches. For more on this story and to see some of my extras from my time backstage, visit us at pix11.com/backstage on Broadway. A bare stage, a naked light bulb. Where it all begins. Drama, comedy, musical. Where a play first takes shape, actors first say their lines, find their characters, and dancers take their first steps. Backstage on Broadway is where you'll learn all about it, from opening nights to interviews with the leading men and women, to rare backstage access. Join me for Backstage on Broadway, Thursdays, only on the Pix 11 News at 10. It's my other passion.
The Tony Award-winning Matilda the Musical is now on Broadway, playing on Broadway at the Shubert Theater. Buy now at telecharge.com. A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder is Broadway's new Tony Award-winning Best Musical. Entertainment Weekly cheers it's as gut-busting as the Book of Mormon. Visit agentleman'sguidebroadway.com. Les Miserables, now on Broadway at the Imperial Theater. Get your tickets today at telecharge.com.
Tony Danza's upbringing, born in Brooklyn to an Italian-American family, is well suited to his role in this new Broadway show. Is it A, On the Town, B, Honeymoon in Vegas, C, A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, or D, Jersey Boys? The answer is B, Honeymoon in Vegas, in which Danza plays a smooth-talking mobster. And when he sings, he sounds like Frank Sinatra.
Looking for the best seats in the house on Broadway? Look no further. The Actors Fund has your ticket for prime seats pending availability for Broadway's hottest shows. The cost? It's twice the box office price, but the extra amount is a tax-deductible contribution that goes to help people in need in the entertainment community in New York City, Los Angeles, and on the road. And it's easy. Just call 800-FUND-TIX, extension 182. Have your credit card ready, and you can purchase up to 4 house seats per show and performance date. And become a member for even greater access and greater savings. See you at the show. There's no stopping the music of the night. Phantom of the Opera celebrates 27 years on Broadway.
New York City, a big city with lots to do and lots to see, especially great theater. See a show without the hassle with TodayTix, a new app that makes getting Broadway tickets quick and easy at the lowest price available. Get your tickets in 30 seconds or less. Download the free TodayTix app and choose the show you'd like to see. You can even get tickets up to an hour before curtain. Choose the show you want and pick up your tickets outside the theater from the friendly TodayTix concierge. It's like carrying the box office in your pocket. Forget the days of standing in long lines. You'll be enjoying yourself and your show in no time at all.
The Broadway Channel, one on the island, a backstage pass to the best of Broadway and touring Broadway. Go to www.broadwaychannel.com for the latest coverage. Featuring opening nights, theatrical trailers, and access to all things Broadway, tickets and merchandising of your favorite Broadway shows.
Hey, I'm Conrad Ricamora.
And I'm Ashley Park. Come watch us in the Lincoln Center Theater Broadway revival of The King and I. You're watching the Broadway Channel.
If you love a Broadway show with positive values, virtuous heroes, and dignified leading ladies, then by all means do not see A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. However, if you would like to see the newly crowned Tony winner for Best Musical of the Year, then for God's sake go to this website and snag up a ticket, or 3, or 19. A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, the Tony Award-winning Best Musical. It's a little bit wrong, but oh, so dreadfully right.
She was a teenager from Brooklyn who walked into a Manhattan recording studio and wrote the songs that would shape a generation. Her name was Carole King. Her story is beautiful. Beautiful takes audiences on Carole King's remarkable journey from writing star-making hits in the legendary rooms of the 1650 Broadway Music Factory to becoming the star herself on the stage of Carnegie Hall. But only after her storybook marriage with songwriting partner Jerry Goffin ends in heartbreaking divorce can the newly single mother take the career-defining step from natural talent to natural woman. The unforgettable top 10 hits of a decade. The incredible true story of a lifetime audiences are cheering for. Starring 2014 Tony Award-winning Best Actress Jessie Mueller. Beautiful, the Tony Award-winning Carole King musical, now on Broadway.
It's a story about people doing their best to connect to the people around them and to love as best they can.
The show is about these moments in life when you look back. Literally, the tiniest thing could have made all the difference.
It's about making choices and believing in their strength, their inner strength, that they can do that.
You watch how these very seemingly small decisions sort of chasm into these very large side effects, and you watch how they play out.
The Broadway Channel spoke to Tony Award-winning actress Idina Menzel about the contemporary new musical, If Then.
I feel at home here in New York City and with this community, and I've been incredibly lucky to have exciting opening nights, and it's just a celebration with the people that I love. You know, we've worked really hard, and we've been doing this for several years, and we believe in it, and we went out of town together, and we love each other, and we so this is a celebration for sure.
Hi, I'm Isa Goldberg, theatrical correspondent for the Broadway Channel. I'll be talking to you about some of my favorite shows and some of the hottest tickets on Broadway. So stay tuned, right here on the Broadway Channel.
When you say Vegas,
you're saying
love.
It sounds so ditzy. Honeymoon in Vegas? Who would want to see that? 5 minutes into the show, you'll forget you even asked. Rob McClure, as a bumbling lover, is an instant elixir of joy. Along with his romantic rival, Tony Danza, and his love interest, Bryn O'Malley, there's enough sass and sizzle on the stage at the Nederlander Theater to set the rack on fire. Whether trapped by the visage of his dead mother, losing his fiancée in a poker game, or parachuting out of an airplane, McClure is big, dexterous, comic, and with flawless timing. In contrast, O'Malley is serene with a beautiful voice. Still, it's Danza, singing in the style of her that delivers a real zing. Written by Andrew Bergman, who made the movie, Jason Robert Brown's music and lyrics catapult the show to the rafters. Bright and cheerful, big band sounding, the score scales the repertoire of styles, but it's the comic tuners that are so awfully good.
Come on, Las Vegas.
A spectacularly uplifting story and winner of 6 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, Kinky Boots. Don't miss Beautiful, the Carole King musical, now on Broadway at the Stephen Sondheim Theater. Tickets available at telecharge.com.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Moss, and you're watching the Broadway Channel.
A refined jewel in the heart of Manhattan, the Warwick New York Hotel is a luxury hotel delivering sophisticated comfort. The Warwick New York features newly renovated premier guest rooms and uniquely designed signature suites reflecting both vintage Hollywood and accentuating timeless elegance along with urban sophistication. Located in the heart of Midtown Manhattan, the Warwick New York Hotel is an historic destination located on the corner of 6th Avenue and 54th Street. Surrounded by the energy and endless activities of the city, the hotel is across the street from the Museum of Modern Art and steps away from Carnegie Hall, Rockefeller Center, Broadway theaters, Radio City Music Hall, Times Square, and countless world-class restaurants. From the Art Deco-style restaurant Murals on 54 to the iconic Randolph's Bar and Lounge, the Warwick New York is one of Midtown Manhattan's most exciting dining destinations. With its European-style elegance, vintage charm, and stately ambience, the Warwick is an oasis of quiet luxury for business and leisure travelers in the greatest city in the world. Jersey Boys, the Tony Award-winning best musical about 4 guys bound by one dream, to make it to the top without giving up, selling out, or forgetting where they came from. Take the journey behind the music of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons in this international phenomenon that's taken home best musical honors from New York to London to Australia.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven touch.
Discover how 4 blue-collar kids went from the streets of Newark to the heights of stardom, taking them all the way to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Chicago Tribune calls it the most exciting musical in years. The New York Post says it's too good to be true. And the New York Times cheers, the crowd goes wild. Have the night of your life at the blockbuster mega hit Jersey Boys.
In all your fantasies, you always knew that man and mystery were both in you.
The Phantom of the Opera, New York's most haunting love story, is also the longest-running show in Broadway history. An unforgettable tale of seduction, obsession, and passion. The Phantom of the Opera has thrilled audiences for more than 25 years, and the phenomenon continues nightly. The opulent sets, the magnificent costumes. The sumptuous production was brought together by visionary producer Cameron Mackintosh and legendary director Harold Prince. And of course, there's Andrew Lloyd Webber's lush and romantic score, full of his unforgettably sweeping and sensual melodies.
Say you love me. You know I do.
Winner of 7 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, The Phantom of the Opera has amazed over 130 million people worldwide. Now you can experience the majesty, the mystery, the musical sensation that is The Phantom of the Opera on Broadway.
The Emerald City comes alive in Wicked, winner of 35 major awards, including the Grammy and 3 Tony Awards. The New York Times calls it Broadway's biggest blockbuster. Wicked, the untold story of the Witches of Oz.
It's the story of the Wicked Witch of the West and how she came to become the Wicked Witch of the West, and of her relationship with the girl who became Glinda the Good.
Popular, I'll help you be popular. You'll hang with the right cohorts. You'll be good.
One is beautiful, ambitious, and very popular. The other, born with emerald green skin, is smart and misunderstood. Wicked tells the story of their remarkable odyssey, how these 2 unlikely friends grow to become the Wicked Witch of the West and Glinda the Good.
For good.
There's 2 sides to every story. And just because you think you know something, when you find out what really went on, it tends to be more complicated and less black and white.
And nobody in all of Oz, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna bring me down.
Find out what happened before Dorothy dropped in at Wicked.
Hey everybody, I'm Rod from everybody's favorite Tony Award-winning show, Avenue Q, and you're watching the Broadway channel. Stay tuned for some off-Broadway previews.
This lauded musical revival by the famed songwriting duo Kander and Ebb is set in a seedy nightclub. Androgynous, highly zealous master of ceremonies. Is it A, Chicago, B, Cabaret, C, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, or D, Violet? The answer is Cabaret, starring Alan Cummings, in revival at Studio 54.
did 4 blue-collar kids become pop music superstars? See Jersey Boys, the Tony-winning Best Musical, based on the story of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Call telecharge.com. Thrilling and captivating musical of all time is now the longest-running show in Broadway history. For tickets, call Telecharge 239-6200.
Don't miss Wicked, the cultural phenomenon, and the #1 show on everyone's list. Visit the box office or wickedthemusical.com for tickets.
New York City, a big city with lots to do and lots to see, especially great theater. See a show without the hassle with Today Tix, a new app that makes getting Broadway tickets quick and easy at the lowest price available. Get your tickets in 30 seconds or less. Download the free Today Tix app and choose the show you'd like to see. You can even get tickets up to an hour before curtain. Choose the show you want and pick up your tickets outside the theater from the friendly Today Tix concierge. It's like carrying the box office in your pocket. Forget the days of standing in long lines. You'll be enjoying yourself and your show in no time at all.
Additional free information on shows and tickets is right at your fingertips. Just call on your local expert, the Hotel Concierge. That's all for now, but if you missed any of our show, stay tuned. Broadway Previews is available 24 hours a day, and we'll take it from the top again in just a moment. Have a great stay in New York, and we'll see you on Broadway.
Actually, every part I've seen has been fascinating. I haven't seen it all yet because I've stopped to do these interviews, and I can't wait till they're over so I can see the rest of it. But I have seen the Captain America part, and I've seen the Hulk part, and I cannot believe the work that has gone into these and how exciting the exhibits are. I mean, I know the characters, but when I see them in these exhibits, it's like I'm meeting them all over again, and I'm seeing them in a different way that I never even expected. All of a sudden, I realize I'm a great scientist because they have so many scientific explanations for the reasons that these characters are the way they are. Things that I never thought of, but I'm happy to take the credit for it now.
Take a journey inside your body.
It's spectacular. It takes your breath away.
You learn how your body is so intertwined. It's fantastic.
It's different seeing it revealed.
Body World's Pulse, where the destination is you. Journey inside at Discovery Times Square.
Everyone's a little bit racist.
Avenue Q is just like your life, only funnier. This winner of 3 2004 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, tells the story of Princeton, a college grad who comes to New York City with big dreams and a tiny bank account.
If you were gay.
Finding his way to a street in New York City where the people and puppets live as neighbors and deal with some of life's most thorny adult issues. Avenue Q, now in its new home at the New World Stages.
Everyone's a little bit racist.
To view more of the Broadway Channel's terrific coverage and its full programming, go to www.broadwaychannel.com.